This will be a fun one for sure. We gonna go over Family Guy. Anybody who hasn't seen the show, definitely watch the show. Man. It's a great show. Hilarious. If you're sensitive, don't watch it. Definitely don't watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That caveat in there because they talk about everything, politics, everything. They joke about everything, race.
Yeah, and they don't hold back either.
Yeah,
They don't pull punches. It's crazy.
yeah, no filter. These writers don't give a damn.
We don't know how they're still on television half the time. We don't know.
Yeah, it's
It
like
doesn't make sense.
yeah, it's wild like Dave Chappelle, right? Like wild, So, and it's on network television. So so
Like how? How does it get on network television?
I guess we can go through characters, man. Like I would say, first thing we can do like your favorite character. Everybody's favorite character I think is the same. So maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah, I mean it's Stewie, isn't
yeah,
it?
Stewie, of course,
It's got to be
yeah,
Stewie. So
yeah.
like yeah, when I was looking up the different Family Guy stuff that I want to talk about, it always starts and ends with Stewie. Um, I think my favorite moment with Stewie, just since we brought him up first, is the episode where Brian owes him money. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but basically,
I've seen
like,
like all of it.
okay,
I
all
can,
right. So basically, Brian owes, and Stewie's the baby if you haven't watched it, and Brian's the dog.
I guess we do
But
got to do
the
that.
dog,
We got to do that quickly. Do the character like just kind of explain the situation with Family Guy.
all right. So yeah, Family Guy. It's just this family, and there's the husband Peter. He's interesting.
Okay.
He's not very smart. I'm just leave it at that. He's just not very smart. But he makes great comedy. His wife Lois, she also ain't that smart either, but she way smarter than Peter. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
she the piece too of the other show. Yeah,
y-
she the piece.
yeah,
She's the piece.
yeah.
Everybody love her. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so they have a daughter, Meg, and Meg's just the scapegoat of all the jokes, basically. Like, basically, Meg just gets dragged through the mud every episode. They call her ugly and fat and all this stuff. Like, they just go at her, which is hilarious because she's played by Mila Kunis,
Right.
who is like the complete opposite. And then they have another son, Chris, who's just he definitely gets everything he has from his dad because he's just not very smart either.
Yeah.
So he's the second coming of his dad. And then they have their youngest son, who's Stewie, who's basically a baby. And I forget
Baby
who
genius,
can.
though.
Yeah, he's a baby gene. Like he's brilliant. Like making
Yeah.
time machines. He's
Yeah.
so smart.
Yeah.
He's so smart, but he's so violent as well.
Evil. He's
Which is
almost
just
evil. Yeah.
yeah, he's smart, but he's evil. So it's great. It's great. And a few of the characters can understand what he's saying. I think it's just Brian. I think Brian and Chris, right? Brian, Chris,
So
maybe Meg. I don't know.
they don't really explain it. So it's like
Yeah.
just so people who haven't seen it, it's like he just says a bunch of wild shit, right?
Hmm.
And throughout the whole show, but everybody around him just acts like he's not saying it, like he's not like they can't hear
Hmm.
him. Besides Brian the dog, we didn't
Yeah,
talk.
it's probably just Brian. It's probably just
Yeah,
Brian. So there's also a talking dog named Brian. He acts like he's a human basically. And he and Stewie are like they're basically the stars of the show. Like the stuff that they do is probably the funniest stuff on the show, in my opinion.
yeah,
And the scene that I was trying to get into is Stewie and Brian. Basically, Brian owes Stewie some money,
yeah.
and Brian just keeps ducking him and not paying him, and
I
and
know he's
Stewie's
talking about.
not and Stewie's not having it. So yeah, so basically every time Stewie sees Brian, he asks him about his money, and Brian basically was just trying to get away with not paying this man, and Stewie.
Yeah,
Stewie took it to another level, man. He's like, "Where's my money, man? Where's my money?" So he started beating this dude with a golf club. He
really,
he shot. I think he shot him in the kneecaps as he's trying to walk away. He got him with a flamethrower. Like, yeah, Stewie wasn't playing about his
where's
money.
my money?
Like, if you haven't seen Family Guy, please watch that episode because you'll have a you'll laugh and you'll have a newfound love for Stewie if like Drew said, you're not sensitive, because it's all jokes. It's a comedy. This stuff isn't really happening, so you can laugh at it. But yeah, Stewie was a playing about his money, and yeah, Brian Brian should have paid him back.
I remember beating him all the times he beat this shit out of him, just beating the living
Yes,
garbage.
like the whole episode, bro. The whole episode
My
about
money,
his
where's
money,
my
man.
money, Brian? Yes,
Where's my money, man? Where's my money?
yes. Stewie's a wild boy, and basically sometimes I think Chris can hear him because they like talk, they have dialogue. So
Yeah,
that's weird.
yeah.
I guess they don't super like explain that part of it. You just go with it
Mhm.
anyway. But
Yeah.
I will say that another part of it is for me is one of my other favorite characters, I would say, is Quagmire. So this dude is the wildest like dude at like that you can think of. Like he's this crazy neighbor that they got who's in love with Lois. He's in love with Lois, so he's in love with Peter's wife. But like
Yeah.
for most of the show, it's so obvious that he is, but Peter's like so naive to it. Like he's like so naive to it. But
Yeah,
eventually,
Peter's so dumb.
eventually Peter figures it out, and then like they have a huge falling out or whatever. But then they eventually like fix it or whatever. But it's hilarious how many seasons he got away with the stuff he would say like to Lois, like right in front of Peter, and Peter was like, he's just too stupid to realize what he was doing. Like it's wow. And he's got this group of people, Cleveland. I gotta say, back to Stewie, Seth MacFarlane does the voice for that one. He does the same thing. He does it for Peter too. So, yeah, that dude does a great job. Of the voice characters of doing those characters. So man, just a great show. What else can we get into? I guess with Brian, one of the things I love about Brian, so he's like the talking dog, whatever. The fact that he like does all this crazy stuff like he's a human, right? And everybody around him just acts like it's normal. It's just like wow, like because it's not
They're
like
just okay with it.
he eventually kind of meets another talking dog. Like I don't know if you remember that
Hmm.
episode. She's like a superstar like athlete. Like
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
right, so you remember that episode. But the fact that he just acts the way he acts, and then everybody around him just accepts that he's just this
They're
talking
just okay
like
with it. That this
talking
dog's
dog,
just walking on 2 feet, talking, and
driving.
yeah,
Yeah.
driving. Yeah, exactly. The driving thing throws me off too.
Yeah, and he driving. You know what's crazy? He'll be driving around Stewie. You know what's crazy? Like Stewie just be out and about in the hood, just like acting like he's 16. Like
Like he's
he's a
running it.
baby
Like
just
he
walking
absolutely
around.
runs it. Like he
He has no
absolutely runs
curfew. He
it.
just be out in the streets. Man. It's just like, yo, is really Brian really hanging out with Stewie in like middle of nowhere? Where the hell is Lois at? Like I don't understand how the hell. Why?
They're the worst parents ever, because
Yeah,
yeah, they're never around, and this baby's just all over the place.
yeah. Meg gets destroyed. Like, oh, man, she's like,
Yeah, yeah. Every time Meg tries to say something, it's shut up, Meg. Like literally, just they. There was the episode you talked. Yeah, now that you brought up Meg, there was an episode where they had a little cutscenes. They love doing their little cutscenes, but Lois was at the piano, and it was Meg's birthday, and they were just like, "You are da-na-na, going on da-na-na," and they said that because they didn't know her age. They didn't know how old she was.
yeah, I don't remember that.
They were like, "You idiots!" She was like, "You idiots don't know how old I am." And they were just
Yeah.
hey man, they were like, "At least we remembered your birthday, man. Like, give us some credit." Yeah, she's the most disrespected character
Least
in
favorite
that
child.
show. Yeah, they absolutely kill her every episode without fail.
Yep. So, man, Chris is another character that so many great scenes with Chris. He's just so stupid. It's just like, yo, this dude is. But he's like, you can tell, like he's actually trying to be a good person, but he's just so stupid. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. He definitely got a good soul for the most part. It just is just lost. He just lost, man. Just as lost as his dad. Like neither one of them are very smart, man. They do some dumb stuff.
yep. All right. Well, That's all I had to say about that. Man, it's great. Definitely check it out. Unless you,
Yeah, yeah, man. Definitely check it out. And if you don't want to watch the whole show, just look up some clips with Stewie and like the scene him saying, "Mom, mom, mom, mommy, mommy."
yeah,
That scene cracks me up, man. He cracks me up. And then there was another one where he started like I don't know if he started lifting weights or he started taking steroids, but he was like huge, like Mr. T huge. And he was messing with Brian. He said, "Yo, there's a toll in the hallway now." And basically, like he was blocking Brian from going down the stairs, and he was just jacked. Like he was huge.
yeah,
Stuff is funny, man. Stuff is funny.
yeah. So many great. So many characters. They feature so many different characters. I guess we can't get away with not mentioning Cleveland as black folks. But there's a black guy in the
Oh
show.
yeah, yeah. Cleveland's funny. Cleveland's funny. He's
Kind
a
of
nice
weirdo.
black guy there.
Yeah,
He is kind of weird. He's a little weird, but
yeah.
yeah, he fits in where he can. And then of course Joe, he's the cop that's in the wheelchair, but he's an intense cop. He really is. He's serious about his job.
Oh, I just remember what another thing about it. The neighbor Herbert, the creepo.
Oh Lord.
Yo, that his thing with Chris, that shit's hilarious, bro. Like it's hilarious. I was like sensitive parents would not like really hate that, but you
Yeah,
understand.
you
Yeah,
could not let your kids watch this if you want them to be what's the word for it, censored or whatever. This is
yeah,
not the show. This is not the one. This is not the one.
yeah. Like dude is literally on the list. It's like for real. And then it's like
Oh
openly,
yeah.
like not even like hiding right in front of the Lois, and he like just inviting them over snacks and stuff like that. Like, Chris is just so stupid. It's like it's wild, bro. That was another thing that's hilarious about it. Just great. You can talk about it all damn day. Actually, there's so many damn great characters. So definitely check it
Yes.
out. Family Guy.